Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Excellent. We'll go ahead and get started. Robert, it's nice to meet you. Ah, wonderful. Well, Joe, it's a pleasure to meet you, and thanks for taking the time today. Excellent. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen here. Now, Joe, I'm sorry? Wonderful. Not a problem. Definitely could do that. Um, Joe, how familiar you are with EverTransit? Okay. So let me just give you the 2-minute spiel. E- EverTransit, basically the operating system for transportation businesses. We specialize in people transportation currently, but in the future we'll handle other use cases like delivery, shuttle services, etc. Um, so we work with hundreds of fleets powering millions of rides a month. Those fleets are limo, taxi, NEMT, you name it. And really, think of us as like a white labeled Uber, right? We give you the technology, but you manage your business however you want. You charge what you want, whatever you want to do. We're really just your tech partner. Um, Wonderful. So, just to get through this quickly, I'll go a little fast. Interrupt me at any time, Joe, if I'm going too fast. This is the dispatcher. It's cloud based, meaning you can access it anywhere in the world. And this is the brain of your operation. When you're first dropped in here, you're going to see all your rides. They're color coded by status, which you'll see here. So unassigned, assigned, and so forth. You could filter any which way you want. So this is a crazy screen having stuff all the way back from February. If I do the last 30 days, it's a lot cleaner where you're seeing just the unassigned and assigned rides. If I put the blues in there, you'll see the completed rides as well. If I click on any individual ride, it gives me all the details. The system has a lot of automation in there, but we also recognize life happens. And so you can update and edit anything you need to in here, whether it's changing the driver, changing the pickup and drop off, the pricing, payment method, reviewing the audit log, you name it, you could do it. You could see the expected route that will be taken. That's all powered by Google Maps. Yes, sir. So if you go to book ride, if the customer has ridden with you in the past, if you just start typing in their information, it'll pull everything up. You can go ahead then and just pick a pickup and drop off. So I'll go ahead. And as you saw there, you can look at recent locations and recent destinations. You could pick the payment method. I'm just doing cash. I could get a quote for the customer. Let's say they're calling in and they want a quote because this is going from Orlando to Miami. It's about 4 hours, 230 miles. Again, that's being calculated by Google Maps for you. And then the pricing is based off how you generate your fares, which we'll cover in a sec. Looks good. I book a ride. If it's successful, you'll see it up here. If I click in that ride, boom, there you go. Uh, I currently don't have a driver assigned. That could be auto dispatched through the system, or I can pick, and it's super convenient because it can show you like how far away and if they're available. So like some people are busy, some people are available. It also tells me the car they're in, how many seats they have available, the whole 9 yards. Billing, super straightforward. You could do invoices in here and also manage credit card disputes. We won't spend much time there. Map, this gives you a bird's eye view of where all your drivers are. It also pulls in traffic patterns. So by way of example, if I zoom in down here, to some of our guys that are based down in Miami, you could see near Hialeah and Fort Lauderdale, we're seeing some rough traffic patterns. Everything else is pretty straightforward. If I click on a driver, it pulls up their information. I could disable them. I could see their details, including driver's license, insurance, registration, when were they hired, who's their supervisor, whatever you want to put in here. You can override default commissions on a per driver basis to give them specialty commission rates. You could see driver ratings for every customer they've taken. This driver doesn't have any. And then you could do individual driver reports if necessary. You have a full, yes, sir. So I'll just go straight to pricing and then we can go back up for anything else. Um, One of the things that makes us completely unique to a lot of the other systems out there is besides us constantly innovating and building out new integrations and features, we have a very sophisticated way on how you can price your services. So you got your base and minimum fare, duration and distance. You could set that all up. They're not mutually exclusive. You could charge per additional passenger. You could charge a waiting rate, and then you could put a default tip in or tax. Customers are also able to set their own tip, whether if you decide to go with a customer application with us or if they book online, they can put that in there. The other thing we could do is surcharges. So we have all these different ways you can layer in surcharges, and we've done crazy implementations like people who do long distance transit layering in how much they get for hotel stays based off how many miles they do, or flight fare, or gas, or whatever. We're really able to get sophisticated. One of the things we always recommend is adding a dispatching fee. The reason being, Joe, is that we charge our customers on how many rides they create in the system. So we charge you a per ride fee. It's all based on usage. So we say, hey, put a dispatching fee that's a little bit more than what we charge you. So now, however you want to charge for your ride, you layer that in. The customer's not going to bat an eyelash. And now the system's being paid for by the customer. You're basically passing our expense right to the customer. Yep, you could do coverage zones, meaning you can set geographical regions. You can, if it's credit card enabled, you could do a pre-auth hold amount to make sure they're good for the money. You could put your own ride input fields. So during the pandemic, we had people putting in, do they have a mask? And customers had to answer that before booking a ride. You could put flight information if you're doing flights. Car seat information, how many passengers. It's really endless. Rate groups are, if, like, let's say you want to do flat rates for airport transportation. So from downtown to the nearest airport, you want to book $75. Everything else you want what's structured here, no problem. We just drop in our zones, which are pretty clever. So Joe, what's your postal code in your area? 8031. What was the first digit? Yep, no problem. So I can map your postal code just like this. Um, yeah, and then you could also draw shapes. So this is how you set up zones. And it looks like you're in North Carolina. Is that right? So, if you went to Charlotte to, your nearest airport, I don't know how far that is, but you could set it up so that way uh, you could either customize the pricing so as a flat rate, or you could set up your own specialty pricing for that trip. And here it's Breckenridge to Denver, and we made it flat 75. So that way, when someone picks the service level premium sedan, it will automatically override knowing the pickup and drop off to just charge $75 rather than go through this pricing exercise. Oh, it was just a previous demo we did. So we could set it up to show you, Charlotte. I'm just going fast because I know you said you're pressed on time. And of course, one thing I do want to mention, Joe, is if you decide to go with us, regardless of what plan you choose, we set you up with a customer success manager. And that's not just someone sending you articles, like they can come in and help set up the system with you. So we're definitely a partner in this. You have your customer CRM here. So if I type my name in, it will show you my favorited drivers, any block drivers, billing details, accounts, which we'll touch on, ratings, and ride history. So you get a full picture of your customers in here. Accounts are actually really interesting. So if you were working with any corporations, schools, surgical centers, senior living facilities, and whether they wanted to foot the bill or if you wanted to provide specialty pricing, we have these things called accounts. You can upload members to the accounts and set custom pricing and services for those accounts. If these accounts want to pay for the rides for those members, you could put a corporate card on file or invoice them. We have that all built in. You could run reports, And then you could also give them their own concierge portal where they can book rides on behalf of their members. And Joe, what type of fleet are you guys involved in? Got it. Okay, cool. Um, we also have the ability for you to connect with affiliates. So every fleet in our system can basically send rides to one another. So if you wanted to partner with a limo service where they send you shuttle business, you send them limo business, you could do that no problem in here. We also are wrapping up an integration where you'll be able to connect to other dispatch systems, so 20 plus other dispatch systems where you'll be able to send rides to and from. So you'll be connected to like every fleet in America. Um, we showed you managing drivers in here. You can also manage all your vehicles in here. So, the make, model, year, license plate, color, and category type. You could put all the documentation in here. If they're corporate owned vehicles, you could select which drivers are capable of driving them. Built in reporting, but we could generate any type of custom report you'd like. We've already gone through the pricing system. Lastly, you could set up auto dispatching. So, who's the closest available driver, or is it a favorited driver followed by closest available? You have the ability to apply cancellation fees and block prepaid cards. You could also set up your universal commission structure for drivers, custom notifications, driver permissions, what they could do during the ride and billing. That's all taken care of. For your website, you could have customers book right on your website. It's 3 lines of code, works seamlessly, integrates into any system. For your web, yeah. So it's just this little iframe here. It's these 3 lines of code. Um, your developer for your website should be able to implement this in less than 10 minutes. If they say it's going to take 5 hours, they're ripping you off because it's that simple. Uh, yeah. I was going to say you know how easy this is. Then of yeah. But by way of example, um, here's just an example of this implemented here. So we did a COVID rides system where basically non-emergency medical transportation fleets were integrated into our affiliate system, so people could book rides to get transportation to hospitals. This is it implemented in our website. Looks clean. It's completely branded COVID-19 rides. Very simple. You have unlimited admins. You have unlimited discount. Yeah, please. Sure. So you have your cash and invoicing and external. Our payment processor is powered by Stripe. It's standard processing fees, so 2.9% plus 30 cents. It's daily payouts. And that is based off how the system's configured. That is the only payment processor we directly work with. You could set it to external and use your own payment processor, but you'll have to manually update which rides were paid for. Okay. Yeah, it's standard rates. So, and I think even if like Square knocks off, a couple basis points, I think you still save money by just having everything automated. Um, we've been opening up our API more and more, so it will be inevitable that you could set up your own payment processor. But as of now, the only one integrated is Stripe. Yeah. Um, Other than that, we just did a Zapier integration. If you're familiar with Zapier, that connects us to 4,000 web applications. So if you're using a third-party CRM or accounting software or any other tool on the web, you can have it integrated with their system. Um, yeah. Any questions? I tried to go through this as quickly as possible given your time constraint. Yeah, so I can't, based off of Google Meets, I can't show it to you directly, but what I can do for you is I can send you a video and I can also send you links to a demo customer application and then a video of how the driver and customer apps work. Would that work for you? Otherwise, we could set some time up and you could download the app and we can kind of go through that exercise. Jack, you're on mute. Yeah, and just Rob, let me make sure if I have Rob's email. Is it Robert at Whitrides? Is that it? Or what's Rob's last name again? Yep, I got it right here. Perfect. Yep. Which yep. You broke up there for a second. JCRO. Yep. JoeCronk at gmail.com. Got it. Perfect. All
Sorry about
right.
not responding. For some reason, my computer won't come off from mute, so I joined on my phone.
Okay, no problem. So, Joe, I'm going to get you all those details. And then, do you have a sense of when you and Robert want to get started? Yeah, let's cover that. So let me just load that up here. And my Wi-Fi is a little slow, so just give me a second. Here we go. Okay, so these are the three plans we advertise, and then if you scale up past 2,000 rides, then we'll provide you enterprise pricing. But Joe, the way to think about us is we charge based off how many rides you run through the system. So you get unlimited team members, drivers, customer vehicles, service levels. Everything is all you can eat. For the free version, for you to just play around with it and have fun with the system, I recommend today you sign up for pay as you go. You could go in there. It will ask for your credit card information, but we'll give you 20 free rides a month. After that, it's $1 per ride. Uh, as you scale up, we have our base in business. Typically, a lot of people jump to business because they want that branded customer app on iOS and Android. So you're going to go with their business plan there. That includes 2,000 rides. Rides are from point A to point B, so that's not round trips. It's basically just one ways. After that, it's 50 cents a ride. You get API access in the customer application. That's $799 a month. So we provide volume-based discounts. So the more rides you do, the more affordable the system becomes on a per ride basis. Lastly, if you think that you're not going to do serious volume, but you still want a customer app, what we don't advertise that we can do is we could provide you a customer application for $499 a month, and then you can go on pay as you go. That makes sense if you're doing less than 300 rides a month. Once you're doing around like 350 plus rides a month and you want a customer app, it makes more sense to jump to business. Yes, sir. So we'll build them out and manage both for you. The only other cost is if you may be familiar is if you want to have an app in the Apple Dev Store, they charge you $100 a year to have a live dev instance for the App Store. So you'll set that up because we want it branded under you. You'll connect us to that instance. We'll set up the application. For us to develop it, it takes about 1 to 2 weeks, and the longest part of that entire process is really just getting Apple's approval. So that's the big time constraint. And then before we launch the app, we'll just send some stuff we need, and it's things like logo, your app developer account for both iOS and Android, your website, colors, name, stuff like that. Cool. Yeah, so there is no annual contracts. Everything's month to month. We do that because we know fleets can either be seasonal or grow over time. So if you want to start as pay as you go and pay the 4.99 to get the app built, just to get your legs underneath you, no problem. All you have to do is notify Jack or myself when you're ready to upgrade, and we'll set that for the next billing period. So we can't upgrade you mid period, but as long as you tell us, we could get it for the next billing cycle. Dri- Driver's side, everyone gets the same app. So it's called EverTransit Driver. We don't white label the driver app mainly because we see it as back office and it would be pretty expensive to do. But drivers are only logged into your instance. So that's the same across the board. That's available for pay as you go, base, business, etc. For base, we do not offer a generic customer app because everything is custom to an instance. So base is really only appropriate for folks that don't see the value in having a customer app but have more volume. So if you're interested in a customer app, it really is pay as you go plus the 4.99 or business. And the differential is going to be how many rides you do. Yeah, yeah, a lot of the times, like, we see that for, like, senior living facilities where, the senior citizens aren't using an app, or, like, a loved one's booking on their behalf. So we see it a lot there, of people going with base. Yeah. No, no. If you do pay as you go plus the 4.99, it is branded to you. It's the same experience as business. You just don't get the 2,000 rides, in the system. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. So if that's the case, then we can you can integrate it on the website, and you can field calls and put it into the back end of the system. There is no generic app that he can accept rides for if he wanted to do it tomorrow. We can expedite if you have all the information. We could try to get this submitted as quickly as possible for you, but there's no way for there to be like an iOS or Android app that he could use starting tomorrow, for the dispatch system. But you could integrate that iframe onto your website, and that is mobile responsive for people to book rides in the meantime. No, no generic customer app. You still get the driver app. So every level provides you the mobile driver app. They do not have a generic customer app. That's actually not a bad idea, but we have not implemented that yet. No. Oh, thank you. Yep. Yeah. And if you guys are serious and you want to get started, like right after this, I'm gonna connect you with Courtney Noe, who's our customer success rep. I'm gonna have her preemptively send over what we're gonna need to get you guys in the app store. And so, depending on how quickly you and Robert want to move forward here, we can move on this as quickly as possible for you. So we don't want you to be kind of left without that experience. But unfortunately, we just don't have anything generic yet because for a lot of people that use us, they want that white labeled experience. So usually anything EverTransit branded is kind of more on the back end, like the driver app or dispatcher. Yeah, yeah, no problem. We'll get that over to you. We just rebuilt the driver app, so I'll send you a new video for that. Customer apps, we're hoping to rebuild those completely from scratch by the end of the year. So you came in at a good time. But we'll get you a video of our existing customer apps so you can review that. Yeah, so the one you're going to see is going to be branded Clutch. So just change Clutch to whatever branding you want, and that's going to be the experience. Cool. We appreciate it, Joe. And Joe, if like web development or fleet doesn't work for you, I feel like you got to go into like being a radio host or something. Uh, you got the voice for it. So, and yeah, all right, man. Well, we're gonna get that all lined up for you. Expect that email. I'll try to get that over to you in like the next 15 to 20 minutes. I think the only thing that might be delayed is a driver application video, but if that's delayed, I'll still go ahead and send you everything else over as soon as I can. Okay? Yeah, sure. So my email is Connor, Connor at evertransit.com. And Jack is Jack at evertransit.com. So very easy. Please put both of us in email. Jack will be more responsive just because I'm in and out of meetings all day, but he and I will follow up as quickly as we can. Perfect. Yeah, excellent.
Sweet.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
Have a good one.